Good morning or good afternoon, good evening. My name is Emile van der Klok and I'm the Director of Channel Marketing Solutions within Impartner. Impartner is the leading platform for partner ecosystem management, and we are offering advanced PRM and PMA solutions in which PRM stands for Partner Relationship Management and PMA stands for Partner Marketing Automation. Our solutions scale and optimize global partner programs. We are trusted by organizations worldwide, and Impartner enables scalable growth through automation, intelligence, and partner-first approach. I'm really thrilled about today's topic, AI in the channel, and I'm looking forward to share our perspective on how AI can change the marketing in the channel. So today we are really talking about the transformative impact of AI on channel marketing. And because we are going to focus on channel marketing, I would like to explain a little bit more around PMA, Partner Marketing Automation. Because if you want to do something with marketing in the channel, then typically use a PMA platform. So let me explain a little bit about that one and the role of a PMA platform into a channel organization. So I'm using always this slide to explain it a little bit. So the role of this one is, if you're a vendor, so which are our customers typically, then you as a vendor would like to market and sell your products through your channel partners, right? So you've got your partners, which can be very local partners. It could be national partners. You've got your partners and you want to market and sell your solutions. So you would like to get access to their local contacts, their known contacts. That's step number one. So your partners do have their existing customers, they do have their existing prospects, and they do have them in their databases, right? So that's step number one. You would like to get access to those contacts. That's the role of a channel. The second thing is, of course, you're also interested in the unknown audiences. These are the potential customers that your partners do not have in scope yet. So they don't have them in their database, but the majority of those customers are actually in that huge cloud of unknown audiences. So the role of a partner marketing automation platform is trying to help your partners to get access to both type of audiences. So how are we doing this? Typically what a PMA system is doing, it is centralizing marketing content like emails or social media posts, showcases like landing pages or product showcases, microsites. You centralize it, and once you centralize it, you can basically distribute it to your partners. You can make it available to your partners. Of course, depending on the kind of context that they would like to approach with this content. So if you look at the known contacts, then basically you have tools like emails and social posts, organic social posts to deliver to your partners. As soon as you deliver that sort of information or content to your partners, the system will take care of the automatically co-branding of this content. So that means like a logo, partner logo is embedded in an automated way. The contact details are embedded. And if you click on an email, it goes to a landing page, which is a landing page from the system, but also co-branded and sometimes even embedded on the partner website. So if you talk about the known contacts, then those emails and social posts make a lot of sense because they have their email databases and they have the social followers. So it means like you're using the social media channels of the partners to post social posts, and you're using the databases of your partners to send emails to them. You're not doing it, the partners are actually doing it themselves via the platform. So they keep being the owner of that data. So that's the known context. But what if you want to reach out to the unknown audiences to generate new demand, which is very important to basically keep fueling your databases of known contacts or prospects. So the unknown audiences is something that you can't do with the traditional organic marketing tactics like email or social, simply because of the privacy rules. You can't buy a list and without any opt-in send an email. Your social followers, if you post something on your social media, then it goes to your social followers and not to the unknown people that are not followers yet. So there are other tactics here, which is most times advertising, right? So the online or digital advertising enables you to reach out to those unknown audiences. So here is an example, for instance, Google Ads. But it could be Microsoft ads, it could be Meta ads like Facebook or Instagram. It doesn't really matter, right? But the power of those advertising platforms is that they do know those audiences very, very well. And you can target those audiences even if they are not an existing contact yet. So the platform enables the partners to use all those different tactics to reach out to the known and unknown audiences, trying to nurture existing contacts into sales opportunities, or trying to approach your unknown audiences to create leads of them or sales opportunities straight away, with the goal, of course, to convert them into closed-won deals. So I just wanted to explain a little bit the background around that partner marketing automation platform, because in today's session, we're going to look at the role of AI into this landscape. So where can we apply AI that is going to be effective and efficient and creating additional value that wasn't or was not available before AI became available. So let's look into this one. As we all know, we are in the fourth industrial revolution. So the fourth industrial revolution is all about intelligence, and it's powered by AI. So today, with AI, the whole industry is changing, and I think everybody is aware of this one, right? So it's very important to understand how can AI change the channel landscape, because it's changing everything very rapidly today. So let's look into this one. Before we do that, there are two main perspectives how you can look at AI. So the first one, you can see it as a threat, and the other one is you can see it as an opportunity. And you would say, like, yes, I know why you're explaining this, because everybody knows that it's a threat or an opportunity. The reason that I'm explaining this is because I think that today, if you are a channel marketing professional or a channel marketing leader or a channel leader, AI provides you with a huge amount of opportunities. And the reason why is because we are creating new things that were simply not feasible before AI, which maybe with existing jobs is not the case, right? So yes, people lose their jobs, people already lost their jobs, but you also have the situation that you can start executing your job much better because of AI. And this is where, if you look at the channel marketing opportunities, there are a lot of opportunities out there. So that's what we would like to explore today, to see like what is it that we can improve. And the reason or the way that we do that is by explaining the main challenges that we see within this landscape that I just explained. So the first huge challenge is the content challenge. So you might have bought your fancy TCMA or PMA marketing vehicle, but you need to fuel it with content, right? Otherwise you can't drive and your partners can't drive. So this is quite a challenge. Do you have the right content, and do you have enough content to fuel the system consistently? Why is this a challenge? Well, our experience in the market is that the channel marketing teams are pretty small. Most of the times it's just one person responsible for the platform and responsible for fueling the platform with content. Sometimes we have teams with 2 or 3 people or a little bit more, but most times these are very small teams. Also, the people within those teams, it doesn't say that they are specifically experts around content strategies, or marketing in general. So you always have the people that do have a lot of knowledge about that, but we also find a lot of organizations that don't have that specific knowledge. So that's going to be quite a challenge. So that means that a lot of our customer channel marketing teams are dependent on their corporate teams. And so corporate providing content to them, but that corporate content most times is for corporate purposes and not for channel purposes. So then the channel team needs to rewrite that content in the tone of voice of the partner, right? So you can see the challenges here, and it becomes even more challenging if you talk about the different needs in the channel, because you've got partners potentially globally with all kinds of different language needs. They sell different products, they target different audiences, like different verticals, and then suddenly your content need in the channel to keep them engaged is growing and growing, and it becomes a huge effort to do this, right? So that's challenge number one. How can we address that? Well, with generative AI, of course, right? With generative AI, we can be much more efficient in creating content, also in the diversity of content. So it doesn't have to be specifically text, it can be videos, it can be podcasts nowadays. There are so many tools available to start using to create more content. So generative AI is definitely a beautiful solution for one of those big challenges into the channel marketing, the content creation. The other challenge has to do with the partner channels and the partners making use of your content. So are they stepping into the car, into your marketing vehicle, the tool that you provide to them? Are they stepping in as a driver and start using your content and drive to the finish line? And if I talk about driving to the finish line, it's really about consuming content, use it to market their existing contacts and their unknown audiences to generate leads and convert those leads into closed-won deals, right? Are they doing this? Yes or no? This is a huge, huge challenge. I think everybody that is using PMA, or at least a lot of organizations, will recognize like the adoption of partners stepping into the car, driving the car, is very, very low. And it is researched, and we have experienced this as well. What typically happens is the car keeps on the parking spot or the parking lot, and it's fueled with content, but nothing happens, right? Nothing happened. There's no driver that starts running the car or driving the car to the finish line. So this is another huge challenge. The reasons behind those challenges is because you can't really blame the partner for not using the platform, because most times it's a lack of time and a lack of knowledge on how to do this. So not the expertise as a marketeer. If you as an organization, as a vendor, already struggle with expertise and resources, then just imagine your partner, right? Of course, there are exceptions with very large partners that do have a lot of content and a lot of, not a lot of content, but a lot of resources and a lot of time and expertise. But it's really just the 1%, 2%, 3% of your channel that can do this themselves. So the majority of your channel, 95%, does have this huge challenge. So no time, no resources, no expertise. So if we look into this, then again, you can't blame them, but you should make their life easier. And this is one of those stories that I always use to better understand what I'm talking about here. So when I was back in the 90s, at the end of the 90s, early 2000, I was a channel marketeer myself. And I was responsible for a couple of hundred partners across Europe. And what I had to do is I had to go to those partners, of course offline, because online meetings were not taking place at that time. Offline, jumping in my car, drive to that partner and do my trainings, whether it were marketing trainings, sales trainings, or discussing about, commercial pipeline. So I had to do that many, many times during the year. Of course, I didn't know exactly where they were based because of the amount of resellers that I was responsible for. So the road atlas was a sort of Bible for me. What I did is before I went to a partner, I had to take my road atlas and had to find out where they're based, then find out like which highway to take, which exit to take in the city that they are based. And then I wrote down on a little paper saying like, hey, take exit 31 and go to the left. Then after the second roundabout, go to the right. Then you've got a traffic light, and then the 6th street you have to go to the left, etc., etc., etc. So once I'm in my car and I'm driving at exit 31, I try to get to my route on my paper and then find out that suddenly that second traffic light doesn't exist. So I just made a wrong turn somewhere. Then I had to park my car, take my road atlas from my lap, because it was on my lap on default, take my road atlas, and then try to find out where am I right now, which street, and then write down again the new route to re-navigate to my location. So I just want to go from A to B, but it was quite a hassle to get there, right? So if you compare this with nowadays with marketing, then look at the solution that got in place here, right? I remember exactly 2004, it was for me at least, that I started using the first time a navigation system. And instead of writing down everything, the only thing I had to do was just say, like, this is my destination. I want to go from A to this destination to B. And then the system was telling me exactly what I needed to do. And I remember very well my first time, it was saying, like, in 200 meters, go to the right. In 100 meters, go to the right. 50 meters, go to the right. Go to the right, right? That was a magical moment for me. So this was, again, something that was not feasible till the moment it was feasible, and then you don't want to do without anymore. So today, I don't think a lot of people use the road atlas anymore. They use navigation, and there's a reason for it, because like it is saying here, most people are not lazy, but they do appreciate convenience. So if the convenience is there, then it means they will start using it and they don't want to do without anymore. So again, if you compare that to channel marketing, then this is nothing else. So we just explained that huge issue of the adoption. People don't even get into the car, into the marketing car in this case, right? To drive the car to the finish line, to go from A to the lead, right? So you have to make it easier for them. And this is where, if we look at the solutions, automation and predictive AI plays a role. So automation to take away all the constraints for a partner to not step into the car, and predictive AI to make the right decisions while you're navigating through your campaign to the leads. Just as an example, the issues that people or partners find right now is that you expect them to go into your tool and manually select the emails that they need to send, or social post, or the campaigns that they need to select. And then once they are running the campaign, they find out, like, hey, my email account got blocked because they uploaded a email list of a very low quality, which resulted in 20% or maybe even more bounce rate, which is not acceptable. So accounts get blocked, people get frustrated, and are not using your system. They park the car and don't do anything with it anymore. So this is why you need automation and predictive AI as a solution to avoid these kind of things. Make life as easy as possible for them to start driving the car. Now, the big question is, if you look at those two challenges, and you can see, like, on the one hand, for content creation, you've got generative AI. On the other hand, for running the car, running campaigns, you've got predictive analytics, predictive AI, and automation to make that happen. So which of those two challenges are the priority, or is the priority? You would say, like, if you want to drive a car, you first need to put fuel into the car, which makes a lot of sense, right? But our experience is that many of the partners or many of the vendors, our customers, they do have some content. So it's not 100% of the content. They can't fuel the tank 100%, but they have maybe 10% or 15% of the content, which is good enough to step into the car and start driving. Our experience has been, first drive the car. Step in the car, let your partner step in the car, drive the car to the finish line, and drive it successfully as a champion, right? That's difficult because your partners typically are not the champions in marketing, but that's exactly why you need to use predictive AI and automation to do it on behalf of them, right? So for us, priority number one is let them drive the car first with the content available to show success. And once the success is there, it's much easier internally to get additional budget or additional tooling to create the content. and start using generative AI to create more content in an effective and efficient way. But step number one is drive the car, make that happen. So if you want to drive the car successfully so that you become a Max Verstappen, because I'm Dutch, right? And Max Verstappen, so far the world champion, most probably not this year, but he has been the champion for a couple of years now. If you want to be a Max Verstappen, then you can't expect your partners to be that person. But the AI, the predictive AI, can help you out here. And I'm going to explain that based on the chess machine Deep Blue from IBM. They started that project, I think, in 1990, just to showcase like what happened there. So if you're not aware, the chess machine Deep Blue, in 1990, it was developed as a supercomputer with only one task, is to play chess. And in 1997, after 7 years, there was the first time that Deep Blue was winning from the world champion, Garry Kasparov, at that time. It was winning the match from the world champion. And that's because of the intelligence, right? So we are now in that fourth industrial revolution, but already back in the 90s, they were working on this. If we talk about that intelligence, that it was able to beat the world champion, then it was not the human intelligence. But what was it? What kind of intelligence was it? So I just want to explain that so that you better understand what actually happened here. So we can basically explain the intelligence based on those three building blocks. So this is a computer intelligence, right? Not human intelligence, not intuition or creativity. This is just straightforward. It has three blocks: complexity, volume, and speed. So if you think about that, if you play chess, then the complexity is the fact that you can get a lot of moves, right? And you have to think about 5, 10, 15 moves up front. And then you get your counter moves. So there will be a lot of combinations that you have to think about, like what happens in the fifth move or the sixth move. And if you are a world champion chess player, you know all those moves in your mind, right? All those matches from the past, you studied them and you know exactly what has been done so that you can navigate through that complexity. If you look at Deep Blue from IBM, then this was programmed with all the different scenarios that ever took place, right? So all that complexity was put into the machine, which can never be done by a human being. Then, of course, if you go to the second building block, volume, it's the huge amount of variables, the huge amount of sets or moves that you can make. So it's not just the complexity of the different scenarios, but it's the huge number of matches that you need to understand, right? Volume is not an issue for Deep Blue, and volume is not an issue nowadays for AI. So the third one is speed. So how quickly can you navigate through the complexity and the huge volume of data available within that complexity? So the machine, like a Deep Blue, did it just in a couple of seconds, right? While the human being needs to think and has just a part of the complexity and a part of the volume in their mind. So it makes a lot of sense that at the end, the computer was able to beat the world champion just based on these three blocks of intelligence. So if you think about this one, and now you're going to reflect that to digital marketing, right? You've got the chessboard, but actually digital marketing, and let's take the example of advertising, in this case, search advertising, for instance, with Google or with Microsoft Ads, doesn't really matter. Then that's actually playing chess, because you are configuring a campaign and optimizing a campaign, but your competition is doing the same. And you're not playing against one person, you're playing against multiple advertisers, right? That can all do their own things. But you have to think, and that's the complexity, you have to think about which keywords am I going to use, which bid strategy I'm going to use. I need to define some ad copy. I need to optimize my keywords. I need to check search terms. I need to configure my targeting. I'm explaining here 15 different parameters, but you've got hundreds of them. So it's a huge, complex thing to master. And then your competition is doing a lot of stuff as well. So it might be that they just want to have the best online presence and they're going to bid very high with a high relevancy to get the best positions. And then you have to change your strategy again, right? So if you talk about that first component, complexity, it becomes clear this is very complex, maybe even more complex than playing chess, because you have multiple competitors that you have to play the match to. The second thing is volume. What about all those clicks and impressions and conversions that you get in, all that data of audiences? And then in channel marketing, it's not about just playing the match for one partner to multiple competitors. No, it's about maybe 10, 50 or 100 partners. So it becomes even more volume, right? So the complexity stays the same per partner, but the volume becomes much more. So all those clicks, all those impressions, all that conversion data, you have to make your decisions based on that one. And then you've got the speed one, right? The third component. How quickly can you make decisions? If you wait too long while your competition for one or two partners started to really increase their budgets, and you just recognize it after a month, then it means like you lost a lot of clicks during that month. And if you lose clicks, you might lose business, right? So this is exactly the same as what IBM has been doing back in the 90s. The idea is exactly the same, those three components, to explain why AI, why predictive AI, with the tools that we've been creating here, can basically beat every human being in optimizing campaigns and campaign performance. So today, we deliver world champion digital marketers because of predictive AI. We do something which was simply not feasible years ago when AI was not there yet. So this is complex, but we made that complexity easy. This is why I was saying in the beginning of this session, there's a huge opportunity for channel marketers, because now you enable your partners to become world champions. So you won't lose your job. You enable them to do something and become very effective, right? So this is very important to understand. So if we talk about that world champion digital marketer, then of course we need some proof here as well. And again, this is not something that is the future. This is something that is already available today. So we talk about those AI technologies like generative AI applied to the channel, or predictive AI and automation applied to the channel. It's already done today. So look at the results, right? If you've got the AI and the automation doing the majority of the job for you, then our experience has been, and this is more than a year's test, is that if we look at, for instance, advertising campaigns, the cost per lead went down with 25%. And I can tell you, we had the best of digital marketers optimizing campaigns. But in the channel, we saw a 25% reduction in cost per lead, which is huge. At the same time, if we talk about that automation part, like I just mentioned with the navigation example, right? Make life so easy for partners that they won't say no. They want to participate in those emails, but it will be automatically sent to them. And based on the conversion data, you can optimize the campaigns. The result of that one is, don't be shocked, but 6,300% increase in the amount of emails sent. That's huge. That's where our customers become very happy, because finally the content that they fueled the system with is being used, right? So again, I'm really talking about priority number one: use the platform. Let the driver step into the car and automate that driver, so that you've got a car that doesn't need a human driver anymore to make this happen. The result of these kind of activities is what we have measured, almost a 300% increase in ROI. So I think if you look at this landscape, there are huge opportunities for you as a channel marketeer based on the new features, the AI capabilities within partner marketing automation, for you to succeed and for you to also realize your checkmate in clicks, as we say, to make channel marketing and paid media win for you and win for your partners. I would like to thank you for listening. If you've got any questions or you're interested to learn more, then feel free to reach out to me. You can use my LinkedIn QR code here, or you can reach out to Impartner. Well, thanks a lot for listening, and thanks a lot for your time.